Another day alive, another day free. Why would I wake up trying to be somebody other than me? Knowledge, wisdom, understanding. Man, woman, and children. Sun, moon, and stars. Everything that exists has to coexist within. Like I said, another day alive, another day free. Why would I wake up trying to be somebody other than me?
Yo, top of the top, the hustle don't stop. Y'all don't know nothing about that. You don't know nothing about that Miss Rays. You don't know nothing about that Rays. That girl is crazy right there. Y'all don't know that. Couldn't be me. Another day alive, another day free. Y'all know the rest. It's your boy Big Dice the Ruler. I've been outside since Calvin Coolers. I got some content for y'all. I got some content for y'all. I promise you I got some content for y'all. Grown folks content at that too. Grown folks content at that. We're going to talk about a few things tonight. We're going to talk about Bobby Smurda. Because them I know from Rutland Avenue, they don't move like that. You dig what I'm saying? The Monday I know from Rutland Avenue from the 50s and the 40s and the 30s and all that. Nah, the way Bobby talking, they not moving like that. But, you know, still we're going to say shout out to Bobby Smurda because he did do his time. He didn't tell on the team. They offered him a deal where he could have came home if he would have just cooperated, but he said, nah, I'm going to take the charge. Matter of fact, give me most of the charges and let my mans and them go home. And, you know, Roddy Rebel is down with him too, but he gave him a pass. He didn't cooperate against Rowdy or nothing like that. So Rowdy wound up coming home before him. So we got some content tonight. Y'all know how it is. Shout out to 050 China Brim, Harlem Legend, Ja Ace TV, the sister Cola James. You know that 050 shit. We've been paying attention. They've been asking for the content. I've been watching some of the content. You know, some people have been stepping up for content. You know, some people have been stepping up for content. Some people have been doing they great shows, promoting the banging and all that. But you know, still entertainment, still entertaining. Appreciate you, East New York, for that. Started off with that super sticker in the building. If y'all can hear me crystal clear, anybody but a dead body, just do me a favor, give me some dice cubes if I can go to the top and shout out everybody that typed in, share this live, get some great people up in here because we got some content. Because I want to know what this world is coming to. They said in the Bible, when it's the end of times, you'll start seeing things like parents killing their children. Children killing their parents, siblings killing each other, family members, cousins, uncles, everybody's killing each other. Angie, baby, is in the building. She said, Dice, she crystal clear. You crystal clear. Great grandson is in the building too. I appreciate you for the dice cubes. Let me get to the top and shout everybody out. Dog Soldier was the first one in the building. The sis East New York is in the building. My bro, separated only by White Castles, Chief Redhead Brown Eyes is in the building. City Bama, day one shit, before YouTube is in the building. My man, Bronze Flat Power Guard, peace. I see you in the building. Salute. Angie, baby, is in the BUILDING. We got Miss Tanja. Hey, Tanja, how you doing tonight, sis? How you doing? You all right? We got great grandson in the building that we were building. Y'all got y'all links to drop them up for the people that catch it on the replay, and for the people that's here now, make sure y'all drop your links up in the chat and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? Got some great content to talk about. I got some great content to talk about. Do y'all remember the movie Precious? Do y'all remember the movie Precious? Do y'all remember that movie? The movie Precious. I don't know if y'all saw the movie or you remember the movie Precious. Starring this beautiful actress right here. I'm pronouncing it right, Miss Gabori Sidibo. Then we also got the great Monique in this building. We got Monique. Monique played the very, very, very aggressive and abusive mother of this young lady right here in the movie Precious. You know what I'm saying? She was a product of incest. This young lady right here in the movie, she was a product of incest pertaining to Oprah Winfrey. And then Oprah Winfrey, everybody that saw her in this movie, even me, when I saw her, the role that she played in that movie, I was disgusted. I just hated her as a person. And then I said to myself, when you can get an actor or actress that can do a great performance like Miss Monique did, an outstanding performance to the fact where they will make you forget that this is a movie and that they are acting and this will agitate your inner spirit, that's a hell of a motherfucking actor. Because when it comes to Monique, you see what she told her daughter in the movie. She said, yo, come over here and do something and make me feel good. She told her daughter, come over to the couch and make her feel good, meaning come over to the couch and perform oral sex on her. If you watch the movie Precious, you understand everything I'm saying. She had her daughter that had a baby that unfortunately had some type of Down syndrome, but it was a case of incest because if I'm not mistaken, her father was the one that sexually abused her and impregnated her. Oprah Winfrey, she had this persona where she hated her daughter. She hated her daughter because her man, check this out now, and people act like this don't really happen in real life. Her man was more interested in her daughter than her man was interested in her. Can you dig it? I believe that too, great grandson. I walk with that. I think that was her best role ever because she had me ready to I was ready to call BCW. I was ready to call CPS. I was ready to call Child Protective Service on this woman. But you know what I've noticed? I'll tell you what I've noticed. We've always wondered why Oprah Winfrey played that movie to the T. We always wondered why Monique played that movie to the T. We've always wondered why, if it's not just me, if y'all agree, put the dice cubes in the chat. Monique has always came across as an aggressive and protective woman in all her roles. In all her roles. Whatever movie she's in, she's always had that dominant protection, not really displaying at all times feminine persuasion. Most of the time, she had that homeboy, homegirl attitude, you know, like the one that we probably look upon like was a tomboy or something like that. But we didn't know what was going on. See, we didn't know what was going on. See, I found out something. I've been doing some digging. I didn't know, quote unquote, that her and Oprah Winfrey were supposed to be best friends. They were supposed to be like sisters. You see, you remember when I did the show with Miss Monique and her husband, when she was saying that she was ready to sue Tyler Perry and she was ready to sue Oprah Winfrey and she was ready to speak out against people like Kevin Hart. She said that these particular people that had the power and the influence to propel any artist, actress, or actor, especially pertaining to the color of being Black. She said Oprah Winfrey was actually part of the team of people that was congregating, making sure certain people, just like Monique and other people, weren't getting big jobs. Monique said she was just appalled. She said she didn't understand why these people that were so-called friends of her would not speak up for her. And she said they started offering her pity, like change, she said. They offered her a Netflix special. They offered her a Netflix special, and they said, we want you to do maybe an hour and a half comedy, and we're going to give you $500,000. She jumped on it. She trying to see what's up with that money. But then to understand that that same comedy special that didn't even really put too much production into it grossed over $14.5 million. So if they took $14.5 million and just gave her an upfront check for $500,000, that's totally unfair and inappropriate. And she said she would think that the people like Oprah Winfrey, the Tyler Perrys, the Kevin Harts, the ones that are actually in power today in Hollywood would actually speak up for them, would actually help them with the union and stuff like that, just like Miss Taraji P. Henson. Harley, I see you in the building, sis. A gun is in her hand. Just like Taraji P. Henson. You know, the one that played Cookie in Empire? You know, she played Cookie in Empire. She played Terrence Howard's girlfriend in a classic movie, Hustle and Flow. Kills 22, I see you. Well, Miss Taraji P. Henson also said some things about how Hollywood was trying to blackball Black people, in particular, Black women. They was trying to just let them stay around and catch the scraps, like Terrence Howard said, from the chitlin market. But it got real deep with Oprah Winfrey. It got real deep with Oprah Winfrey. See, Monique said that her and Oprah Winfrey had a different rapport. Monique said that she looked at Oprah Winfrey like her sister. Matter of fact, I ain't even gonna tell you what she said. I'm gonna let Monique tell you, quote unquote, how she felt and how she feels about Oprah Winfrey. Let's get into this work. Remember, y'all heard it first.
And I said to her, me and my mother are not in a good place. Now, she said some things to me about her mother and father, which I'll never repeat.
Monique's shocking truth about Oprah, I thought was my sister, but she was my enemy. What she say next is unbelievable.
Because I'm thinking we're having a sister moment.
Yeah.
So I shared some things with her about my mother, sometime in tears, and we talking. And then you go put my mother on your show. Yeah, we got a problem. We have a problem. And because it's Hollywood, oh, Monique, just don't say nothing. That's my mother. And I didn't want the world to see my mother like that. So now when I'm in this Walmart, when I'm in the store, and before y'all say anything, this was Walmart years ago. I'm in the store and the elderly women are coming up to me saying, your mama ain't shit, baby. We're here for you. That's still my mother. So now I got to look at this elderly woman and say, you got to be respectful. But she watched that woman sit there and support the man that molested me.
1, 2, Freddie, I see you in the building, sis. Did you hear what Miss Oprah Winfrey said? She said she had opened up. No, excuse me. You hear what Miss Monique said? Monique said that she opened up to Oprah Winfrey a numerous amount of times, and she expressed certain things about her and her mother not being eye to eye. She said Oprah Winfrey also expressed some things that was going on between Oprah Winfrey and her mother that Monique vowed to never, ever speak about. But then she said, right after she wound up talking to Oprah Winfrey about certain things that was going on, because she thought she was having a sister-to-sister moment, Oprah Winfrey, see, it's not just YouTube. That has nothing to do with YouTube. This has something to do with the people's hearts. Oprah Winfrey, for clicks and views, knowing that it would be a crowd in the program that's going to watch. For clicks and views. For clicks and views. You know what she did? she pulled her mother up on the show. She pulled her mother up on the show. And Monique said still, even though she was going to certain places, it was older people that was walking up to Monique and telling her that she was empathetic for certain things that was exposed on that Oprah Winfrey show. Things that she spoke to Oprah Winfrey about in confidence. Oprah Winfrey pulled her mother on the show and then asked her questions pertaining to the allegations from Miss Monique. Let's listen to this one more time in her words.
Now, we had a conversation, and I said to her, me and my mother are not in a good place. Now, she said some things to me about her mother and father, which I'll never repeat.
Monique's shocking truth about Oprah. I thought was my sister, but she was my enemy. What she say next is unbelievable.
Because I'm thinking we're having a sister moment.
Yeah.
So I shared some things with her about my mother, sometime in tears, and we talking. And then you go put my mother on your show. Yeah, we got a problem. We have a problem. And because it's Hollywood, oh, Monique, just don't say nothing. That's my mother. And I didn't want the world to see my mother like that. So now when I'm in this Walmart, when I'm in the store, and y'all say anything, this was Walmart years ago. I'm in the store and the elderly women are coming up to me saying, your mama ain't shit, baby. We're here for you. That's still my mother. So now I got to look at this elderly woman and say, you got to be respectful. But she watched that woman sit there and support the man that molested me. So me and Oprah Winfrey, T.S. Madison, I thought I was talking to a sister. I did not know I was talking to an enemy. Now we had a...
Monique said she thought she was talking to her sister, but she was talking to an enemy. So I want people to pay attention, because when they say on YouTube, they say, yo, the people on YouTube, they'll do this and they'll say that and they'll do this and they'll say that. See, they make it seem like it just happens on YouTube. No, envy and jealousy and attention. Carnage, I see you back in the building, son. I got you. Because attention is a very, 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 very dangerous addiction. Attention. See, Oprah Winfrey knew when she asked her, quote unquote, not to talk about that. Oprah Winfrey knew that if she came and did a show with Monique's mother at the particular time when Monique was going through so much controversial situations, we're going to say, in Hollywood. When she was going through so much controversial situations in Hollywood, Oprah Winfrey just capitalized off that. That's just my interpretation. She just said, you know what? Since people are thinking that Monique is crazy because she was having these, they said, temper tantrums and fits. They said she was unreasonable. People couldn't talk to her. It's not that people couldn't talk to her. It's not that people couldn't talk to her. She couldn't control her emotions because she was highly upset and she felt as though that she was being overlooked and disrespected and underpaid because of the skin color that she possessed. But what's the most deepest part? What's the most deepest part about that movie? A lot of people didn't pay attention to. They always wondered, why could she be that mother? Pay attention to everybody that paid attention to this role that she had. This role that she had when she was in, look at that face. Look at that face. That's she. Yo, come over here and do something for me and make me feel good. Annette, I see you, girl. You know why, quote unquote, she did that role so well? Everybody in here, do y'all know why? Can anybody in here tell me why she did that role and why she played the role so well? You know why she played that role so well? Because she went through it in real life with her mother.
You can't play both sides, you niggas gotta choose. Niggas out here being tough until they make the news. Mama said her son ain't hurt nobody. The street said her son was catching plenty bodies. If you accept these charges, then please hold. In every hood, there was a nigga that was tougher and he still told. Like, what I gotta do to make you niggas rhyme? Like, I'm ready to kill when the kind of minds more cautious. I'm dealing with more sticks than a porcupine. Quill spines, whatever you wanna call them. Yeah, plus my little mama, she a trap queen. Doggy when she mixed with that Fetty, give him a wop lean. It was a whole lot of cars when there was stimmies round. We going over a year and half you niggas down. All these expensive clothes, like was that smart? Now they uploading their clothes on the Poshmark. Swiss baby, careful with this. I mean this bitch sharp. One across, one down the middle, look like a chrome heart. Damn, I'm always outside. I'm like high from who? Bout to put your car on skates. You think you slide through? I help build my niggas. This ain't Legos. Protect the fan by any means. I be Diego. Yeah, tiger to you niggas. I'm an animal. It's a jungle where I'm from. What y'all wanna do? You can't play both sides. You niggas gotta choose. Niggas out here being tough until they make the news. Mama said her son ain't hurt nobody. The street said her son was catching plenty bodies. If you accept these charges, then please hold. In every hood, it was a nigga that was tough, but he still told.
I don't know if y'all be listening to that song, but that song right there is fire. I don't think people be listening to what these, first of all, that song right there is a pure example about stress, mental illness with a black man. The man said he just want people to stay out of his face. Sometimes he feel like he just want to blow his face. The nigga's crying out for help in that song, y'all. That's exactly what he's. Shout out to Triple Red and that song Wish, because they said that song might be the best song that he ever dropped in his whole catalog. And he got some bangers. And I'm doing a show this week too. I want some people to pull up this week. I'm doing a show on the conversation about the top 5 dead or alive. Top 5 dead or alive. Anybody that's not familiar with that, is the top 5 dead or alive is the top 5 MCs ever. The top 5 dead or alive. I'm talking about including any rapper that some people want to put into it that is no longer physically here. When it comes to me, my top 5 is always going to be, in no particular order, Big L, Jay-Z, Big, Nas. Anybody tell me the last one? Jadakiss. Jadakiss. If it would have never been for a Nas, if it would have never been an MC by the name of Nasir Jones, Rakim would have had his spot as top 5 dead or alive. If there never would have became an MC by the name of Nasir Jones, Rakim would have been on my Mount Rushmore top 5 dead or alive of MCs. But then we got to think about something today. If you ask people from a certain age group, you ask people like from their 30s, so you ask people from their late 30s, their late 30s to their mid 50s. What's y'all top 5 dead or alive? What's y'all top 5 dead or alive? And then we have to pay attention to our children, our nieces, our nephews, our little brothers, our little sisters, and what gravitates to them and what the concept of music or rap is to them. Because in this particular time, I got little cousins that's talking about NBA YoungBoy is top 5 dead or alive. I got little cousins that says Nas is corny. I got little cousins that call Jay-Z, Jadakiss, old heads. I got little cousins that don't know who KRS-One is. I got little cousins that don't know who LL Cool J is unless I pull them up on Apple Tunes. I ain't gonna front. That's what I said. See, that's what we say. Of course. If I'm not mistaken, great-grandson saying, hell no, ain't no NBA YoungBoy, no top 5 dead or alive, but it is to the mindset and the waves and the ears of people. Now pay attention. If you go to the uncles, my uncles, the gangsters in their late 50s to the early 70s. Pay attention to what they would say is the top 5 dead or alive when it came to hip hop. You might hear some people talking about Kool Moe Dee. You might hear some people talking about the Treacherous 3. You might hear some people talking about Grandmaster Flash and Melly Mel. You might hear some people talking about African Bambaataa. You might have some people talking about Curtis Blow. See, when we say top 5 dead or alive, like pay attention to the gangsters in here right now. If you had a mint 1993 to 95 SL 500 Mercedes-Benz, if you had a mint one right now, you would be rocking that car like the gangster that you are, because we know what that is. But if you pull that car up in front of one of them young boys, they'd be like, this shit is trash. Because it all suits what people are attracted to and what their mind feels as though that they relate to. Pay attention. It's a time when a bunch of us from America, I'm gonna keep it funky with you, y'all. From like about 1990, like 1988, like 1987, like 1987 to 1983, I thought I was Jamaican. From like about 87 to 1988 to about 1993, I thought I was Jamaican. So I wasn't listening, pay attention, to rap music the way I started listening to Wayne Wonder, the way I started listening to Shabba Ranks, the way I started listening to Major Worries, the way I started listening to Sister Nancy, the way I started listening to Buju Banton, the way I started listening to Junior Demus, Shaka Demus, Supercat, Dirts Man, Fitz. Yo, see, a lot of people don't even, tell the truth, great-grandson. Tell the truth, great-grandson. Tell the truth, we forgot we was from Brooklyn. Tell the truth, we didn't forget that we was from Brooklyn when that some call us pirates, illegal protesters, just because they play what the people want. When they start talking that Shabba Rank shit, telephone love, it sounds so sweet on the line. Telephone love, we didn't give a fuck about no rap music. Josie and them type people. Dennis Brown, you know, see me? Garnet Silk. Beanie Man. Mad Cobra. Yo, let me tell you something. When we was on Schenectady and Sterling, like I said, I know what it is to see Supercat right there, right on Schenectady and Sterling on Labor Day. Supercat, white boy named Dominique, Dirts Man. All type of niggas, Nitty Gritty, and them type big names like that. Niggas like Eco Mouse. We forgot we was, let me tell you something. We were going to reggae clubs and the house parties we were throwing. Pay attention. You might hear a couple of hip hop songs like The Bridge is Over, The Bridge is Over. Or you might hear a It Takes Two to Make Things Go Right. Or you might hear a Come Get Some, you little bum. Or you might hear a I came in the door, I said it before, I never let the mic. Or you might hear a Milk is chilling, what more can I say? But if you didn't hear about 10 rap songs, everybody was listening to reggae. Connie said, Tenor and Nitty Gritty, rest in peace, was my constant play. See, I grew up, so that's why I'm doing a show this week. Yo, great grandson, pull up too, man. Drop your link too. I need you here, man. The OGs, we got to get together and do some great content with these people because we can't get mad at our sons and daughters. We can't get mad at our nieces and nephews. We can't get mad at our cousins. Shit, we can't get mad at niggas our age that's gravitated to a certain type of music. When we was coming up, Tribe Called Quest, De La Soul. Remember that? What's the rhymes in there? Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what's in there? That's when so let me tell you something. It was a few hip-hop songs that was being played. I thought I was Jamaican. That's a cold-blooded fact. You see what my OG said. So I appreciate everybody get prepared for that. Oh, yeah, one more thing before I get into this content. If you're interested, I'm throwing a big dice dating game. I'm throwing a team is guardian / love connection. Some Dick Vitale shit. You dig? If you're interested in possibly coming on a show, you know what I'm saying? Got to have an open heart. Got to be really, really open-minded to it. Got to be straight up with this. If you're interested in coming up here, you don't have to show no avatar. See, we're going to start putting contestants up, and we're going to put what their attributes are, what their good points are. See, back in the days, remember when somebody wanted to get to know you, it was like, you tell me some things about you. This is what we're going to start doing. That's a fact. That's a fact. But let's get into this content. To the mothers in here right now that have sons. That have sons. That have sons. Could you ever unalive your son? Could you ever stab your son? Could you ever shoot your son? Shit, a real mother can't even throw their son out when their son doing wrong. But what's going on today in these times? I had to bring this story up because I heard about it, and it's really, really getting crazy. All right, pay attention. Back in the days, June 9th, 1999, they say that's when the planets aligned. June 9th, 1999. They said that's when all planets was allegedly aligned. They said when these planets align, see, this is how long I've been knowledge. They said when these planets align, that certain things would fuck up the atmosphere of our realities. Meaning it would be a mind-shifting cosmic event where children, pay attention, because I'm going to give you some history right quick. Y'all can go look this up. This ain't no allegations. They said children will start killing parents. Parents will start killing children. Siblings will, like I said earlier, and the first case of it was the Menendez brothers. Let's get them right for a minute. Let's talk to them for a minute, Great. Science is science. You cannot compete science. You cannot dispute science. East New York said, be right back. I'm about to make some tea. Did that mean you rolling up? What kind of tea you talking about? You talking about some tea, some Lipton tea? Or some tea? But back to what I was saying. Once the planets lined up, the first bizarre case that we saw was the Menendez brothers. Do anybody know who the Menendez brothers? We all old enough. First of all, the Menendez brothers was the twins that was the last two living members of the Spanish heartthrob group called Menudo. Remember, it was the Jackson 5 when we was coming up in public school, junior high school, and what they tried to do, they tried to get a Hispanic Mexican group by the name of Menudo. They were supposed to be called the Hispanic version of the Jackson 5. Well, them two brothers were arrested and convicted of killing their parents in a savage way. For a case of defense for these two, they said that they were being sexually assaulted and exploited since children, and that's why they hated their parents. They said that their mother allowed their father to do some hideous things with them. What you eating? Some hideous things with him. Egypt is crazy. Like sometimes she be acting like she eating a whole meal and she got a little pet. Anyway. Well, let's pay attention to what I just got found out for y'all, because all the mothers that got sons, I know we get on y'all nerves sometimes, but we can't do this. We can't do this. Remember, y'all heard this first. Let's go.
I want to take you now out live here to Houston, Texas, where police just started a news conference. Let's go to it right now here on Live Now from Fox.
We came out here, conducted our investigation. We have at this point concluded that 2 family members were involved in a disturbance. It is going to be a mother and a 13-year-old son. During the altercation, the mom did produce a weapon and she did fire a round, striking her son. The investigation thus far, we did contact the Harris County District Attorney's Office, and they are going to be accepting aggravated family assault charges on the mother on a family member for shooting her son, who currently is in the local hospital. At this point, he is stable, but he does have a gunshot wound in his body.
Any idea what they were arguing about?
It's going to be family matters here within the home that's been brewing.
Was the son armed with anything?
At this point, no.
Where was he hit?
I'm not going to disclose exactly where, but he was struck. He was definitely struck.
Were they the only ones in the home, the mother and the son?
There's other family members in the home.
What were they doing?
They were inside, not part of the disturbance.
Okay. No one else was injured but the 13-year-old?
Correct. Yes, sir.
What kind of firearm was it?
It's going to be a handgun.
Have there been other calls to this house in the past?
There has been other calls here previously.
What were those calls like?
It's a mixture of different calls.
East New York said she should be locked up forever. You see how hesitant the police officer is to disclose everything, the extremities about that case? Do you pay attention that he said that there's been numerous phone calls to that home? It's a young lady on YouTube or Instagram. Let's see if I can see her name. Let's see if I can see her name. I don't remember her. I don't know her like that. Her story is just crazy. Her story is crazy. Can't remember her name. She went to the feds. She was on, that's her name. If y'all think I'm joking, I'm going to put it in the chat right now. This is her name right here. Go check it out on YouTube. I mean, on Instagram. She's an entrepreneur. She's a bike rider. She's an author. And she's been on a lot of podcasts and things like that pertaining to her journey. She's from Brooklyn, New York. And she speaks about her journey from when she was in the streets. She went and was incarcerated. I want everybody to go follow her and go on her story and pay attention to what goes on. I don't want to go too much into her story, but then again, it's public. She speaks about a rocky and a very turmoil relationship between her and her oldest teenage son. There are so many people that have so much input and so much advice that they want to give her pertaining to him, because she said she can't take it. She said she cannot take it. She feels threatened. She has videotapes. She has evidence of her son being combative. She has videotapes. She has evidence of her son being aggressive, pushing her, not understanding, not paying attention to anything she's saying, disregarding everything that she's asking of him. And she's literally in tears because she feels as though sometimes she don't understand what happened between her and her son. That's a fact. Talking about her son putting his hands on her. So when I heard this story right here, I said, I got to go over this story a little bit, because let me explain something to you. If I'd have put my hands on my mother would have killed me. If she wouldn't have killed me, she would have attempted to kill me. Okay, I'm gonna say this one more time. If I would have put my hands on my mother, I know my mother would have attempted to murder me. What you say, dog? Rest up to mama loves, both of them. We know the same type of. My mother, are you crazy? Are you crazy? This is before Instagram. Are you crazy? Are you crazy? If I'd have put my hands on my mother, are you crazy? Number one, my pops would have fucked me up. My pops would have fucked me up. My uncle would have fucked me up. My grandfather would have fucked me up. You see what East New York said? Just trying to put your hands up. When my mother used to be like, put your hands down when I'm talking to you. Flinching. This shit today is dangerous, y'all. It's very dangerous. The judicial system and the states and the courts have deemed that parents cannot discipline their children. Y'all do understand that, right? Parents cannot discipline their children anymore. Let's check the rest of this story out.
Here at the house.
It sounds like you don't want to be too specific about what they were fighting about, but
correct.
Generally, can you give us something?
It's just going to be mom and a 13-year-old son that were pretty much, it led to a fight. It led to a verbal disturbance, and ultimately it led her to firing her handgun and striking the child.
You said a moment ago that it was brewing, like there had been arguments over a period of time.
There's been previous incidents here at this house.
Involving the mother and son?
Involving them, yes.
What will happen now?
So once the DA's office takes the charge, we'll be booking her into the Harris County Jail. And ultimately it's going to be the district attorney and the judges that are going to take over the case and follow through with it.
Is that the suspect in the vehicle there?
Correct. She is detained here in the car. Any other questions?
I mean, is there, these are troubling things, when this happens. Any kind of advice or what should people do if you're in a, you're in a house with your family members and somebody gets mad or acts a fool? I mean, what's the best?
It's just our suggestion is separate. Separate. Call law enforcement. Let us come out, deal with it. We'll track everybody down. We'll deal with everybody. Don't take it into your own hands because they're going to lead to something like this.
Did the mother seem intoxicated or impaired or anything, or is she saying?
Does not. No.
What is to be done of the weapon that was used?
We'll be submitting the weapon as evidence, and it'll go through the chain of custody.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, very disturbing story coming out of Houston. Again, police are investigating a mother who shot her 13-year-old son, learning that boy is in stable condition, but there was an argument that led up to this incident, and they are continuing to investigate it. But that is really all of the really information that we know here at this hour. Still a very, very disturbing story coming out of Houston. We'll keep an eye on it. If we get any more updates, we will bring it to you here right on Live Now from Fox. We'll take a 2-minute break and be back with more in moments.
Excuse me. A crazy part about that is I could imagine what's going on and what has been going on in that house. He said that the police have been there so many times. They arguing, certain things that they with these kids. They don't respect. See, when we was coming up, we had curfews. And we also had the fear of God in us when it came to our mothers. So if Ma said to be in the house by 8 o'clock, usually I'd be walking through the door like about 7:45, 7:47 to make sure that I was in the house. Because she said be home by 8 o'clock. She never said leave what you're doing or stop what you're doing at 8 o'clock and then proceed home. She said, I need you home by a certain time. And then when I got older, and you know, like they said, when I started getting the mustache and the hair on my face, and she gave me curfews that when I got around my friends and beautiful girls and great atmospheres, good times, good music, bunch of people just spreading love to each other, I disregarded them curfews. But one thing I knew about, if I was not home by the time that my moms told me to be home, she was going to try to kill me. She was going to try to kill me. So it was like when I'm looking at the clock, because back in the days, we used to have the little stopwatches around the neck. Remember, everybody wanted to have a stopwatch because it was like Flavor Flav. Now, my mother tell me to be home by 11:30, 12 o'clock the latest. If it's 11:50, and I'm in Bedford-Stuyvesant, about maybe 30 to 40 minutes away from my motherfucking house, I know I'm already going to be late. So I said, I'm going to just go ahead and deal with what I got to deal with. You dig it? It was times I came home and would sit in my hallway and contemplate how I was going to take the ass whipping that my mother was going to give me because I knew I was late. Because I knew I was late. Because I knew I was late. But these kids today, they're doing what they want to do. They're doing what they want to do, y'all. The way that things were implemented and put in line for us and the assistance of the city and Child Protective Service. See, the assistance meaning the communication between Child Protective Services and parents back in the days when it was all right to discipline your child when you was doing things out of love and when you was trying to correct them. As opposed to now, if a child is considered to be hit or in his mind abused, all they have to do now is call 911, and automatically the parent that has been called on will be arrested, whether the shit get thrown out or not. At that particular time, they're coming to arrest that parent. So at that particular time, you're doing two topsy-turvies. You're making a child think that they have more power than they actually have. And you're manipulating the child because you're telling the child, yo, just call us. If your mother hits you, if your father hits you, et cetera, your brother hits you, sibling, just call us and we'll come get them. But see, the thing that comes with that, it's because now when you come get your father or your mother because you're mad, because a lot of people came up in single homes, you're mad that they break out. So now check this out. Because your parents is in jail, you want to act like you grown and have this one at the house and that one at the house. And it seems like every time parents are away from a home, that's when the most crazy accidents happen. But when your parents say, yo, your friends can come over, when they're there, you don't want to do that because we was too mischievous. But if you know your mom's not there, but check out what happened again in New York City, because it's only in New York, y'all. It's only in New York, man. Check this out. Let's go.
But first, we have breaking news. 4 people dead after an apparent triple murder-suicide in the Bronx. The suspected killer also leaving a chilling voicemail to his son shortly before the killings.
Eyewitness News reporter Crystal Cranmore is live at the scene in the Castle Hill section with much more on this tragedy. Crystal.
Good afternoon, Liz and David. Well, people are definitely heartbroken this afternoon. From what we're gathering, the 44-year-old man suspected of killing his 75-year-old mother, his daughter, and his daughter's boyfriend had apparently left cryptic messages, as you mentioned, to his son and to other people in the moments leading up to this very sad discovery this morning. But police are still inside the Castle Hill houses here in the Castle Hill section of the Bronx as loved ones are toward the back of the building.
We have breaking news. 4 people dead after an apparent triple murder-suicide in the Bronx. The suspected killer also leaving a chilling voicemail to his son shortly before the killings.
Eyewitness News reporter Crystal Cranmore is live at the scene in the Castle Hill section with much more on this tragedy. Crystal.
Good afternoon, Liz and David. Well, people are definitely heartbroken this afternoon. From what we're gathering, the 44-year-old man suspected of killing his 75-year-old mother, his daughter, and his daughter's boyfriend had apparently left cryptic messages, as you mentioned, to his son and to other people in the moments leading up to this very sad discovery this morning. But police are still inside the Castle Hill houses here in the Castle Hill section of the Bronx, as loved ones are toward the back of the building, just remembering the victims that were lost. Police responded to the Castle Hill houses on Lacombe Avenue in the Castle Hill section around 9:45 this morning. They were called out to do a wellness check after the suspect called his 20-year-old son in North Carolina early this morning and left a message saying, quote, "Check on your family." Police say inside the apartment, they found the suspect's 75-year-old mother, his 26-year-old daughter, and her boyfriend, also believed to be in his 20s. All were pronounced dead at the scene from apparent gunshot wounds. The suspect is believed to have suffered a self-inflicted gunshot wound as well. Now, neighbors say the 75-year-old woman was well-liked in the community.
She's a nice lady. I was a party animal in here before I got old and sick. Every day, all came to my parties. We hang out on a daily basis in the summer over there on the bench. Nice lady, big heart.
She was a very wonderful person. She was a very wonderful person. When I heard the news, I was in shock. I started crying.
Now, police are investigating this as a triple murder suicide. They were able, according to investigators, recover a gun inside the home. Coming up at 5, we'll hear from a loved one, a relative actually, who, again, there's just so many questions that are left unanswered. At last check, they were still trying to get into that 5th floor apartment just to get answers themselves. But coming up at 5, we'll hear.
What y'all think happened? 1, 2, Freddie, I ain't see you in the building, girl. Salute. I see Tanya just said hello. She snuck up in there. Let me check make sure I got my wallet. I didn't see Freddie come up in here. You fast. You got me, might be half Hispanic. Shout out to my Boricuas. Shout out to my Boricuas. Shout out to my nigga Mush and them. Them niggas say, yo, man, I'm going to get it. Mr. Jake Desamine. I see you in the building. Salute, beloved. Why y'all think that happened? Seriously, y'all. Come on, great. That ain't sad. That's not sad, great. That ain't sad, great. We grew up seeing that. What you mean? What you mean? Moms and pops got the crib in the apartment. They got a little daughter or a little granddaughter that they took full custody of because their baby was, unfortunately, some type of addiction. And then their granddaughter, the only way she can get, y'all can get the granddaughter or the daughter to stay home because she in love with that boy. We got kids. We've been there. The only way the parents can get that baby to stay home, you'll let the boy come chill. But see, the mother is trying to keep eyes on her daughter and keep peace. But the father, he's like, if he really loves her, if he care about her, why don't he get a job? Why don't he go get a house for him and her? So now the father and the mother, they're at war right now. They're at war right now. Pay attention, because we spoke about how back in the days when Section 8 was developed, I'll show you how this shit holds a toll over a man's head sometimes. Especially a man with no income, especially with a man that's in love living with a woman, especially with a man that has a child with a woman. But unfortunately, that child was given to that woman through Section 8. So that man really is not supposed to be there. So that man is really not supposed to be there, you know. But you know, because you love your baby father, you know, everybody know he lived there. Housing authority, they know he lived there and all that. They just not going to say nothing about it. But see, they don't know what's going on inside that house. When the father is complaining about things that may be seeming something should be non-complained about. Man, I'm tired of him always here. Tired of him eating about food. They're not married. They're sleeping in the same room. I'm tired of hearing my daughter and him go arguing. I'm tired of seeing my daughter upset. Now the problems come between mommy and daddy because now they're arguing about their children arguing and what their children is going through. So every day that's more and more of a definition of why somebody would be stressed out, man or woman. You got the woman, she love you, you her man, but mommies, they mother cubs. They're going to protect the mother is the cub. She's going to be protective of her child. She'll help and fight and to try to defend her man, but when it comes to her child and make that choice, they're going to always side with their children, whether you're the father or not. It's fucked up. It's fucked up. It's fucked up when it's being done to you as a man, but as a man, reverse the role. You dig what I'm saying? And put it to where it was your child, where you may be the one with the home because you have a child, but she's not supposed to be there. And because your decisions, it could reflect and mess up what you got going on in the comfortable situation you got with you and your son. Guy, I see you. So you got Pops in the crib and he's upset. He's frustrated. He's frustrated. So nobody, this is just allegedly. Because I've had friends. I got family members. I got family members that argue over these type of things right now. Why this nigga up in here with his girl? I got family members that's arguing with each other because my aunt said her baby is always going to have a place to stay. Now check this out. When my aunt know one of my little cousins may be known in the street for whatever he's known for and is a felon, if she can make sure that she sees where he's at every night, that girl can come with him too. But when Pop start beefing, yo, why you got him sitting up in here, living in here like this? They ain't paying no bills. You're not teaching them no responsibility. And it seems like you're condoning this bullshit that they doing because I come from them type of families. Number one, y'all ain't going to be sleeping together over here. This ain't no hotel. Yeah, we didn't have sex in our house, but we snuck that shit. We made sure our parents was nowhere in motherfucking town when we was sneaking about sex, and that crib was immaculate by the time that parent got home. Or what we did, like our parents said, go get a hotel room. But then when you got parents that's older and a man, because pay attention, they said that the man unalived everybody, his wife, the grandchild, his grandson, his daughter, and then himself. City boy, I see you. Salute. What you smoking on, beloved? He said, I'm rolling up enjoying the show. I could imagine, allegedly, the arguments that man had with his woman. Or I could imagine the arguments she may have had with him if she was staying there with him. And that was his child. And he gets to the point of no return where he says, well, you know what? Ain't nobody listening to me. Nobody listening to me. We all fucked up. And then in the mind, it'll be some sick, twisted reason that would give somebody, yo, go unalive them people. You'll be justified for that. As long as you unalive yourself too. No, that's the most cowardly shit you could ever do. He said some homegrown, baby, some Florida grass. You got to hit me on Instagram, baby. We got to get you away from that. Hit me on the gram, nigga. The Big Dice Chronicles, nigga. We got to get you away from that. You dig it? We got to get you right. Don DeMarco. But pay attention. Pressure bust pipes, y'all. Yes, ma'am. Annette, tell me something, because I know you know what's going on up there in Harlem. Can you give me some deeper insight on this right quick? Facts. Let me know something. Oh, my man said, nah, Dice. This some fire, Dice. Some real OG. All right, cool. I got you. When you said Florida grass, oh, I could dig it. That's just that diddy bop. That's that talk. Just some grass, some smoking on from Florida, baby. But it could have been some mean, could have been some low, could have been some medium. I appreciate that. Communication is the key, y'all. Communication is the key. You see how I assume? He was like, nah, beloved. This that fried chicken I'm smoking on right here, baby. You dig what I'm saying? Great. That was just like a groovy conversation, you know. You had to be there to understand it. He was like, nah, beloved, homegrown, negative radio. This is some real disrespectful fried chicken right here, baby. This is that Popeye's fried chicken. I'm talking about 91, 92, Dice. I can dig it. You talking about that what we was smoking when we was right here. You talking about that what we was smoking when I was right here. You talking about that Don DeMarco, man. Before they ain't have no names on that good reefer back in the days, y'all. They wasn't saying things like OG Kush. When the names started coming out, you started hearing things like Chocolate Thai and Piff and Haze and Sour Diesel. But see, reputation was just on validation of your product. Can you dig it? Some niggas move because of quantity, but the gangsters, we move because of quality. Allegedly. I say some move because of quantity. And yes, that will develop what you call allegedly a comfortable gross of income with some people that just said, you know what, this is enough for me. Even though it might be something else that can rock me a little different, I'm cool with this. I'm comfortable with this. This is the way I get it on. But see, there's a whole different line of groovy individuals coming to that roster, baby. I'm talking about it's some levels to this shit. There's some niggas that keep that real disrespectful roster mind on them. You dig what I'm saying? I was gonna say, yo, Dice, I got a guy who make that GG, that Gorilla Glue 4, and it's the real deal. See, it's a lot of people that's growing right now, brother. They telling you can keep up to 3 plants now in New York. You're telling you keep up. Shout out to my mans in them on McDonald, man. Maybach Sop, I say, I see you in the brother. I see you in the building, beloved. Always a pleasure to see you in the building, man. You know you drop your link, man. For real, content, y'all. Content. You dig what I'm saying? None of that sucker shit. And Maybach, I was just talking about the young man, like my sister Annette said from Castle Hill. Excuse me, not the young man, the older gentleman that unalived himself, his grandchild, her boyfriend, and his wife. Because pressure busts pipes, y'all. Stress is the main factor. All right, I got the Goofy of the Week coming up. Right after this Jaffe interlude, I got the Goofy of the Week, y'all. Pay attention to these weird ass niggas y'all got around y'all. Shout out to my nigga Joff. Let's go.
Top. When you call my name, it never yeah. No, for real. Life is good. Yeah. They praying no one down for fuck them, these niggas needy. Believe me, these niggas is mad, they'll never be me. Don't trust them, they fell to the family, they get them DP. 6 feet buried alive, face on the white tee. Lately, I've been staying far away from these niggas cause they better. I only bring animals in the slitter. Take me when they only do linen and fine women. Take me where they only drink champagne with they dinner. Take me where the niggas is hating, they can't enter. You can put your trust in niggas, see me, I don't. That bitch is only known for cheating, you think she won't? Praying for the best, was prepared for the worst. I give him a chance, you in the ropes, his fans, I want no smoke. Right or left, yeah, it really don't matter, pussy, I'm good with both. Aiming death shots, I'm throwing made for your head and chest. Yes, some of the realest shit that I ever wrote. Resume say don't play, not the people vote. Never would I let these niggas trick me out my spot. Never would I act like I'm something I'm not. Never would I tell, I remain real. Never would I, never would I crash off the internet. These 762s, you need a bigger vest. It's top. I'ma ask you one more time, like what we doing here. Semi-automatic and tragic, I make a movie here. Gonna minimize my friends, cause niggas be moving weird. They call me, I come like job, blow me a gun. The difference is when I call niggas, they never come. But shout out to the niggas that do, they know what's up. Jesus, peace, hate for my neck, it's never tough. Take a loss and you get right back at it, no give it up. They get money going, post it on the gram like who gives a fuck. Till they face down in that barrel like nigga, give it up. So much for bragging, got them fit for a casket. My energy I'm giving is what some niggas smash it. Why I run around with Jackie tucked in a jacket? The mouth shit go for a man, they can't match it. If she don't fuck with you, me even, I got a jacket. Those guns made out of plastic. Never would I let these niggas trick me out my spot. Never would I act like I'm something I'm not. Never would I tell, I remain real. Never would I, never would I crash off the internet. These 762s, you need a bigger vest. You niggas minimum wage, I need a bigger check. When it's time to perform, I'm gonna show next.
Yo, shout out to Ja. Never let us down. Shout out to them boys, General DZ and them. Make sure y'all go check them out, streaming on all platforms. Y'all already know I keep y'all up on these creeps and these weirdos. Sleek, I see you done switch your name up on me, baby. Your rent's still there, beloved. You switched your name up, his name's still there. He said, yo, damn, unalive the whole family and himself. Insane. You pay attention to what you just said. Let's pay attention to what the brother just said. He said, damn, he unalived his whole family and himself. To the average mind, to a sane mind, to a logic mind, pay attention, y'all. That's insane. What you mean you killed your family and you killed yourself? Nigga, you crazy. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Come on, my nigga. Day one shit over here, boy. You're absolutely right. Because now, because of new terminology, new psychiatric or psychological theories and ideologies, just like the new word narcissism, narcissist, I've never heard that word as a child. If you heard the word narcissist as a child, put some dice cubes in the chat. If you ever heard the word narcissist when you was coming up as a child, a teenager, a young adult, put dice cubes up in the chat. I've never heard of that word until about 2017. Because people make up their new theories and psychologists make up their new ideologies and they're just created. I've never heard that word, dog. But that word is an everyday word used today. I know you didn't. No, you didn't. I know you didn't. Because if you want to say the word narcissist, okay, boom. When you found out your man was cheating ladies, and then you fucked the nigga to get him mad, knowing that you wasn't going to be with that nigga, but you fucked him just to make your man mad or your baby, that's narcissism. That's the definition of narcissism. Playing with a woman's emotions. knowing she's deeply in love with you, knowing that she'll do anything for you. So you use that to your advantage. You use that as opportunities to make her feel insecure about herself because she's madly in love with you. That's narcissism. That's narcissistic. Back to this internet. A lot of parents are giving their children these applications, cell phones, tablets, not being really knowing who their friends, their daughters, their sons, their children are actually interacting with, not understanding the routine and the habits of their children. So even if they have parental guide on their phone, they could be in their friend's house on the internet. It's like a bunch of these weirdos. I be trying to tell my sisters in the world, but they really on YouTube because you don't see them because they behind these avatars. Just check these niggas out, ladies and gentlemen. These niggas be weirdos. And this right here is the Weirdo of the Fucking Week award.
Now to a very disturbing story out of the Bronx. A man is now under arrest for allegedly using social media to lure a teenage girl from New Jersey to his apartment where he repeatedly raped her.
And as terrible as that is alone, there is more. The NYPD says he had been arrested before for the same type of horrific act in Manhattan and was out on bail awaiting his sentencing when police say he struck again. Now, police put out this mugshot asking for any other potential victims to come forward.
Eyewitness News reporter Marcus Solis is live in the Belmont section with the very latest on this very disturbing investigation. Marcus.
And Liz and Dave, first to that incident last year that the suspect was awaiting sentencing on involved a 15-year-old girl, somehow deemed to be consensual. And so the suspect pled guilty only to a misdemeanor. This time, the charges are far more serious, and police believe there could be additional victims.
I could tell something was not.
Did y'all hear what they just said, or do I got to rewind that? They just said the weirdo ass nigga was just caught up in some bullshit like that previously, not too long away before this, but he copped out to a much lesser charge that was a misdemeanor. Let's check this out again.
The NYPD says he had been arrested before for the same type of horrific act in Manhattan and was out on bail awaiting his sentencing when police say he struck again. Now, police put out this mugshot asking for any other potential victims to come forward.
Eyewitness News reporter Marcus Solis is live in the Belmont section with the very latest on this very disturbing investigation. Marcus.
And Liz and Dave, first to that incident last year that the suspect was awaiting sentencing on involved a 15-year-old girl, somehow deemed to be consensual. And so the suspect pled guilty only to a misdemeanor. This time, the charges are far more serious, and police believe there could be additional victims.
I could tell something was not right. And then she goes, my daughter's missing. And she started telling the story.
A terrifying story that ended with police rescuing a 15-year-old girl from the suspected serial predator holding her captive. 24-year-old William Creedle is charged with luring the teen he met online to this building where he allegedly drugged, raped, and beat her.
It's shocking to hear something like this could happen right next to my office.
Fulvia Anacasio was approached in her business by the girl's mother, who discovered the teen had left their home in New Jersey Monday night. By early Tuesday, the girl's parents tracked their daughter's tablet to Hughes Avenue in the Belmont section and began searching.
I could see it in their face. Yeah, they was desperate to know her whereabouts, you know. So that's when I just said, well, I could look around.
Hours later, the NYPD knocked down the apartment door, inside which they say they found drugs and guns. Creedle's rap sheet includes other violent crimes and sex-related offenses.
I'm happy to hear that the daughter's safe, probably traumatized, shocked, but at least she survived.
You can't play both sides, you niggas gotta choose. Niggas out here being tough until they make the news. Mama said her son ain't hurt nobody. The street said her son was catching plenty bodies. If you accept these charges, then please hold. In every hood, it was a nigga that was tougher than he still told. Like, what I gotta do to make you niggas rhyme? Like, I'm ready to kill when the kind of minds be cautious. I'm dealing with more sticks than a porcupine. Quill spines, whatever you wanna call them. Yeah, plus my little mama, she a trap queen. Doggy when she mixed with that Fetty, give him a wop lean. It was a whole lot of cars when there was stimmies round. We going over a year and half you niggas down. All these expensive clothes like was that smart? Now they uploading they clothes on the Poshmark. Swiss baby, careful with this. I mean this bitch sharp. One across, one down the middle, look like a chrome heart. Damn, I'm always outside. I'm like high from who? Bound to put your car on skates. You think you sliding through? I help build my niggas. This ain't Legos. Protect the fan by any means. I be Diego. Yeah, tiger to you niggas. I'm an animal. It's a jungle where I'm from. What y'all wanna do? You can't play both sides. You niggas gotta choose. Niggas out here being tough until they make the news. Mama said her son ain't hurt nobody. The street said her son was catching plenty bodies. If you accept these charges, then please hold. In every hood, it was a nigga that was tough, but he still told.
Yo, Bobby from Brooklyn, what's going on, y'all? If y'all don't know who this is Bobby Smurda, GS9 member from Flatbush, the Midwood area, in Brooklyn, New York. Got indicted on a gang indictment with the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Stood tall, didn't do no telling at all. And he was offered a lighter term and sentence if he would have cooperated with the Federal Bureau of Investigations. So they told him, they said, well, you know, if you don't tell us or you don't agree to allegedly what we know, we're just going to give you the kingpin charge, dummy. They said, check this out. We already know what happened there. We already know what happened there. We already know about that. We already know about this. We already know about that. We know about that. We know about that attempted murder. We know about that kidnapping. We know about that assault. We know about these drugs that were being sold here. We have people that, quote unquote, are ready to get in the stand and implicate you and a bunch of your friends, part of a multi-million-dollar organization pertaining to heroin, marijuana, and angel dust. Right out of Rutland Road in Brooklyn, New York. He told him straight up and down, yo, check this out. Whatever you got to do, just let my peoples break out. So, you know, Roddy Rebel wound up getting a shorter length of time. But he just did a show the other day, y'all. And the nigga said, this was information that he volunteered. He said that a woman ate his ass out. My man Maybach said, yo, Dice, look up how many pedos got arrested through Roblox. Yo, that's a cold-blooded fact. And that's like Roblox. Oh, man. This dude said that he allowed a woman to eat his ass out. Now, when Bobby first came home, there was a real interesting video floating around Instagram. I don't know if people remember about it, but I'm going to bring it back to your memory right quick. There was a very disturbing video of Mr. Bobby Smurda, which was floating around the internet, where he was in the bed. He was in the bed with someone that was under the covers. Someone that was under the covers. And then when the person came up from under the covers, he had one female on his left side and he had a transgender man, a well-known transgender man on his right side. And he smiled. And he smiled. This wasn't, I don't care what nobody say, this wasn't no fire for dot. This wasn't no AI. This was him with a woman on the left side and then a Hispanic man with a ponytail on the right side. Is this what it came to? I'm starting to ask myself, that's the reason why he said he wanted more time in prison? Because if you go check the interview, just type it in. Bobby Smurda admits the girl eating out his ass. He seems so happy and so excited. Before I get out of here, I'm going to give y'all some real game on what I see going on around the world. It's just going to be my thoughts. I'm just telling you something that's in my mind. If you pay attention to the whole thing that's going on right now with democracy, Sir Valentino, salute. If you pay attention to all the things that's going on with the politics and democracy and the government, like as of today, all airline workers, they're not working no more. They said they're not going to continue to work for no type of money. Okay, well, let's get back into the government. Let's get back into the government. The way that things are happening right now pertaining to the president that we have in office right now, pay attention. You know what's so fucked up? When it came to them little punk ass stimuluses, and all that extra money that was giving out during the COVID shutdown, didn't I tell y'all they don't give you nothing for free? Didn't I tell you that they don't give you nothing for free? So now if you pay attention to what's going on, you have a bunch of people that's demanding for the president to be what? Kicked out of the White House. He already had what 30-something felonies? He was already going to trial for what, 30-something felonies? But they said a felon can't even vote at one particular time, so how could a felon run for presidency? But you got to understand the endorsements, the money, et cetera, et cetera. Let me speed this up. Right now, the government is being looked upon and frowned upon as inadequately being able to control the world. They said that the government is doing an inadequate job in controlling the world. And because of this situation with the EBT and everything, that this has started something well-rounded in proportion. But let me pay attention to what they're doing. I think they're allowing, pay attention, just my thoughts. I think they're allowing Donald Trump to do all this foolishness. I think they're allowing Donald Trump to do all this foolishness to implement and put in a plan that they're trying to do with AI. They implement a worldwide plan that they're trying to do with AI, because pay attention. If you can't trust someone, a human being, pay attention. There's so much corruption in politics. There's so much corruption in the police department. So you mean to tell me if you can't produce a human being that is really going to honor and do the best of ability to serve the country in the best way, how about we get AI? How about we make a computer be the person that makes the decisions for the whole government for the United States of America? Because I'm not talking about now, I'm talking about in the future when they try to pull up the fact of what Trump is doing right now that has the world in a frenzy. The Trump done told people that had more power than him, yo, you're going to pay these people. He said, I'm not paying them niggas nothing. He said, until the Democrats sit down and break this bread with me the way I said, ain't nothing going on my watch. Pay attention to what they got going on in Albania. Pay attention to what we might have going on in the future. They not playing. They got a bigger plan, y'all. Remember y'all heard this first. Let's go.
And tonight, in the future of everything from weather and natural disaster monitoring to policy advising and clerical automation, artificial intelligence is quietly reshaping how governments operate. But while most countries are keeping AI behind the scenes, one nation just gave it a seat at the table.
So we got an AI minister. Wait, like a human minister for AI in your country, right? No, like an actual AI as a minister.
Our AI overlords are here right now, and they're in Albania.
She's going to be in charge of public procurement. I'm trying to stamp out corruption.
It doesn't have an ego. It makes fewer mistakes. It doesn't take a salary.
Did you hear about that? Did you hear what she said? Pay attention.
Going to be in charge of public procurement. I'm trying to stamp out corruption.
It doesn't.
Public procurement and stamp out corruption. See, what they're saying is a person like myself, a person like Sir Valentino, Dog Soldier, Tanya, East New York. So they're saying that we are impressionable people because we deal with emotions. So they're saying we can be compromised. They're saying we can be compromised. We can complain. We can sue. We can ask for a vacation because we've worked a year for an employer, and God damn it, a week or two should be, at least thought about giving up. But then when you're talking about now, she said already a lot of governments are allowing AI to make the most powerful and conscious decisions. Pay attention to what's going on. Why do you think a lot of them Democrats aren't letting human beings make decisions? Egypt, be quiet. Pay attention to what they're saying. They said already that the AI is behind the scenes helping a lot of governments. They didn't say that the AI was helping our government. They said that they was helping a lot of governments, say like Russia, say like China, say like the Democratic offices. How do we don't know that it's the AIs that told the Democrats, yo, check this out. Don't feed into what Donald Trump is talking about. Don't feed into that. Don't even care about it. We got something for them. This is going to create a public frenzy. Pay attention.
Have an ego. It makes fewer mistakes. It doesn't take a salary.
That's the future we're living in.
And tonight, in the future of everything from weather and natural disaster monitoring to policy advising and clerical automation, artificial intelligence is quietly reshaping how governments operate. But while most countries are keeping AI behind the scenes, one nation just gave it a seat at the table.
So we got an AI minister. Wait, like a human minister for AI in your country, right? No, like an actual AI as a minister.
Our AI overlords are here right now, and they're in Albania.
She's going to be in charge of public procurement. I'm trying to stamp out corruption.
It doesn't have an ego. It makes fewer mistakes. It doesn't take a salary.
That's the future we're living in. A minister clanker? Hey, don't you dare say that. That's our minister you're talking about.
And Garrett DeVink joins us now, tech reporter for the Washington Post. So Garrett, what exactly does this AI minister do, and what sort of decisions ultimately are we expecting it to make?
I mean, that's a good question. So Albania, they have announced that they now have this AI minister who will be in charge of procurement. So, this is something in a lot of countries, including Albania, has been, a place where corruption has happened when governments spend money. Sometimes the deal goes to someone who might have, a cousin, a brother in the government. And so the government said, if we just put an AI in charge of all that, we won't have that kind of corruption anymore. But, it's unclear exactly how this is going to work. I don't think that this AI is, in charge of the public treasury, going to be actually signing the checks. So I do think that, corruption could still be a problem here, regardless of the AI branding around it.
So in terms of how this would work, right? And there's the potential that some of this is maybe, I don't know if gimmick is the right word, but maybe there is a messaging effort here as well. That often is the case in politics, right? But in theory, if this were to be really moving forward in a serious fashion and something were to go wrong, who would be responsible? Is there going to be a person who actually oversees this and or is working day to day on how it deals with input?
Yeah, I mean, I would hope that the people of Albania would hold their human politicians responsible for anything that goes wrong. I do think there's a really interesting question here, which is, can we use technology more and more in government to kind of make things go faster and to be more fair? And people have been making this argument for a long time that if you sort of set up technical systems that can evaluate things that, you know, maybe are transparent, that are sort of arm's length from actual people doing that evaluation, doing that decision making, then that kind of, you know, holds out this hope of, you know, maybe a more technocratic, fair form of government. But of course, the devil.
I'm sorry. How would y'all feel about that? They saying that an AI, the Pope feels as though that an AI would be more fair than a human being. Let me just ask y'all in here right now. For the people that's in the chat, how do y'all feel about AI being in charge of the government that runs our lives, that governs our lives? Forgive me, not runs our lives, but some would say, well, how would you feel about AI being in charge of the government and the administration of how we're supposed to live? Think about that shit, Annette. First of all, it's a topsy-turvy. First of all, who programmed the AI? We got to think about that. Who is responsible for programming or creating the whole idea of that particular AI? What about that person's corruption in their heart? What about their heart? Unless they're saying that this AI intelligence is something that just evolved from what? Computer generated science? Brownie, hey girl. She said, did you see they are engineering new viruses with AI? You ain't never lied, girl. The bug part is certain things. It's so much stuff that I be coming across my table. It's so much stuff that be getting sent to me about certain things. I just like to do certain research before I get into it, because every time I turn around, first of all, every time I turn around, it's something pertaining to to control of the population. Just my opinion. Every time I turn around, it's something pertaining to controlling the population. They're starting to talk about all these young athletes. LeBron James and LeBron James' son, Bronny. Some top athletes from football, from soccer, and then they all have one thing in common. They was all part of the vaccination program that so many people fear, and then so many people accepted with open arms. So many people with open arms just was like, yo, I'll do it. I'll do it. They said to do it. They said to do it, so I'm going to do it. So pay attention to what they got going on now, because if humans can convince the world to do things like that, what you think the AI can do?
Well, sort of in the details, and I don't necessarily think either that the technology is there yet. You can't take even the most advanced AI model that we have right now and say, hey, go, make this complicated decision for an entire country. You can say you want to do it, but the technology is not quite there yet. And so people still need to be involved in making the final decision and kind of tweaking the AI. And of course, that's where you have, human error, human bias, et cetera, et cetera.
It is fascinating stuff, and certainly something a lot of us will be watching. Garrett DeVink, Washington Post tech reporter, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
I'm sorry, y'all. I was on mute. I'm telling you, I've been saying it this whole Ron BX, I see you. 050, boy, I see you. See, I've been saw that the show about Albania introducing the first AI, which I just showed you. But I didn't understand why did that just come out like that? Why would they just just say, you know what? We got an AI making decisions for a whole country now. Unless they thought about implementing this with us. Huh? So then I'm paying attention. This is just me. It has nothing to do with nobody. This is just my assumptions, my allegations. Then I'm paying attention to the wild running streak that our president is on. Pay attention. Our president disappeared for 5 days. See, people are not paying attention to these plays. He disappeared for 5 days. In the end of August, our president disappeared for like 5 days. Nobody knew where he was at. Nobody heard nothing from him. No tweets. No visual confirmation of our president, of him even being still with us. Okay, cool. And then he comes back with this militancy and this tyrant attitude. Pay attention. First of all, how did he go from being the most generous and optimistic president when it came to us, when it came to the minority or the lower class of people that they said with our income bracket, how he was so empathetic and how he was robbed, et cetera, et cetera. But how did he just come back and say, yo, check this out. Fuck them people. Fuck all them babies. Fuck all that. When they got $6 billion and some change in the cut just for emergencies, just like that. See, this is what I don't understand about the United States of America. I really don't understand this, but this is what I don't understand about the United States of America. You got a stash. Like, you know, the stash is like your cut, your stash, your little dibby dop, like ladies where y'all put y'all little doo-doo at where nobody knows about this money, not your husband, not your children, just you, your stash. So the United States of America, you have a stash of over $6 billion that's never used, that has never been used, allegedly. It's just sitting there in case of a dire emergency like this. But what's the problem? Why don't you want to pay that money out to the people? They said over 47 million people is on EBT. Fuck everybody in here that's on EBT. Fuck everybody watching this. It's 47 million people on EBT. It's 47 million that rely on public assistance and EBT every month. You know why I think? Can anybody tell me why you think Trump don't want to pay that money? It's a lot of people, East New York. It's a lot of fucking people. There's only one reason why I feel as though that our president is being so hesitant about administration of that money, especially if we have $6 billion plus in a stash just for events like this. It's not because he's being spiteful. It could be he's being spiteful. Forgive me, I can't say that. Nah, fuck that. They're lazy fucks. But let me explain something to you. You know why I don't believe? This is what I believe the reason is, because the money's not there. Divine Order, I see you in the building, sis. Chi-Town in the building. I appreciate you for pulling up. Yo, FTC Vice. Yo, somebody get that nigga 10 seconds. That's why I feel as though Trump is being so hesitant about that money. It's not there. You ever thought about that? Okay, let me tell you why I feel like that. Cav say, yo, Dice, that's people that get benefits directly. Other people rely on it too. Damn. Imagine your store, that's a fact, that generates most of its money from EBT. Now you can't make no money to pay your vendors. Damn, that's a fact. He just said, here we go. She about to go get sold to the Chinese restaurant. That's a fact. But let me explain something to you. Because of all these secret so-called operative missions that the government funds, they say that the CIA funds, I don't believe that money is there. Because if you're in a $1 trillion deficit, think about that. If they said the United States is in a $1 trillion plus deficit, no, trillion is more than billion, y'all. It's billion, then trillion, then zillion. Y'all know, or it goes billion, then trillion. The United States of America is trillions of dollars in debt. Just because they say it's $600 million sitting somewhere in revenue, or it's $600 million sitting somewhere in gold or silver, that don't mean it's there. That means that's what they told us. Shit, they've been telling us forever there's no such thing as aliens. They've been telling us forever there ain't no such thing as aliens. That shit is some bullshit. But through all our life, they've showed us televisions with aliens interacting with us. E.T., you can go back to Flintstones when the little green nigga Gazoo popped up. Remember Gazoo on the Flintstones? And this is supposed to be back in the times when they was fucking with dinosaurs. So this was before Christ. People didn't even really pick the knowledge in that shit. The Flintstones was BC, before Christ. Remember? Dinosaurs, pterodactyls, big bobcats. So if the nigga Gazoo, if Gazoo was back in the days then, they've been letting us know periodically forever. Silver Point, I see you. And that's a fucking shame. She said, and most of the 47 million that depend on this assistance is children. See, that's what they're telling us. Oh, we got $6 billion. Until they say, we as Americans can't call the Pentagon and say, I want you to produce the stash of $6 billion right now because I don't feel as though that money is there. No, they just tell us what they want us to know. They just tell us what they want us to know. And the reason why I believe they're letting Trump run like this, because see, y'all failing to realize they don't really like Trump. See, Trump is not a politician. Trump is a gangster. Trump is not a politician. Trump is a businessman. And the only way that he knows how to win is to cut off a supply pertaining to your finances. Just like they said to him when they hit him when he had to file bankruptcy when he was doing a television show. And he put the big Trump towers on Atlantic City in Jersey. That nigga money ain't fucked up because if he got a hotel with an amusement park in it on Atlantic Beach, in Atlantic City, the nigga had a hotel called Trump Plaza and it had an amusement park in the waiting area. So that nigga money ain't fucked up. But I believe they're letting him do that because they're trying to show by example or have a bunch of examples to talk about in the future about how it might be better, like Albania is saying, to throw artificial intelligence on top of our government, to govern on the people, because they can say, yo, it's always going to be non-biased. You can't persuade them with money. You can't persuade them with higher rank. You can't persuade artificial intelligence to sell their soul for material things because it's artificial intelligence. So I think they're just going to allow Trump to keep playing himself, and then they're going to just say, yo, you know what? Because of what happened with Trump, let's just see how the world would run if artificial intelligence came together and ran the world. That's what I think they're letting that happen for. For real. Just imagine that. If we was ran by AI, how would it affect the world? Would it drop crime? Would it stop corruption? But pay attention to what's going on. It's deeper than that EBT, y'all. Set your bell notifications. I appreciate all of y'all for pulling up. You heard me? Peace.
Party. You ain't never smoked with me, never stamped the dope with me, never shot a nigga long range through the scope with me. Fucked 100 bricks up and went broke with me. Shared the same sneakers or the same coat with me. You ain't never grind with me, never did no time with me. Eating Jack Mac and tuna fish off the ride with me. Mask down, kicking niggas' doors, slide with me. That before dishonor, you ain't joined a mob with me. Wasn't in the hood with me. No. You ain't played a back block and bust a jug with me. You ain't clean a ratchet off and load the clip with me. You ain't ride uptown and cop no drip with me. When niggas came bustin', you ain't bust back with me. My first 50,000, you ain't touched that with me. Them 12 skinnies, you ain't sling those with me. Them late night murders, you ain't seen those with me. While you was up early getting ready for your class, we was lighting candles up and burning all the bags. You was on your way to school, we was on the ass. Beating up a junkie cause he stole a nigga's stash. Product of my gutter, bitch, I'm really from the trenches. Them 12 skinnies, when I stuff them look like dentures. Ain't worried about no static, we not ducking any tension. Somebody ever try me, then somebody get injured. Hard. You ain't never smoked with me, never stamped the dope with me, never shot a nigga long range through the scope with me. Fucked 100 bricks up and went broke with me. Shared the same sneakers or the same coat with me. You ain't never grind with me, never did no time with me. Eating Jack Mac and tuna fish off the ride with me. Mask down, kicking niggas' doors, slide with me. That before dishonor, you ain't joined a mob with me.
Another day alive, another day free. Why would I wake up trying to be somebody other than me? It's knowledge, wisdom, understanding. Man, woman, and children. Sun, moon, and stars. Everything exists, has to coexist with it. Like I said, another day alive, another day free. Why would I wake up trying to be somebody other than me?